nets in for lobsters. So we're just going to take you around the harbour a little bit, let you see it. So most of these boats are trawlers, and you can see that they have what I call satellite navigation systems in them. They all have names too, which is great. You can see the satellite navigation systems there, and then they have these winches at the back that basically bring up their nets when they have caught fish. Here we can see a vessel called Arcane, number N.906, an Ocean Hunter N07. So sometimes you can see seals in the water. There's a seal there. If you just look over, you can see its head. You can see its body, you can see it's blowing like sort of bubbles at the top of the water. What they do is when the fishermen come in, the fishermen gut the fish and they prepare them for market, so forth and so on. But what the seals do is they come into the harbour, and the leftovers of the fish, the gutting, stuff like that, the seals eat them. So I hope you were able to get a glimpse of the seal there. And there's Incentive 11 and Rapin Donna 2. It's a glorious day here down in Portavogie. So if you're a fan of fish and chips, or which I am, or sailing boats or fishing boats, you'll absolutely love this video. These fishing villages, or these fishing ports, at one time you could have walked from one boat to the next boat to the next boat, probably all over the harbour. But the fishing industry at Portavogie here is still thriving, still doing quite well. And there's a fish and chip shop over there. I think it's called the Harbour Chippy. When I'm down in Portavogie, that's where I always get my fish and chips, over in the Harbour Chippy. So you probably noticed me eating fish and chips before. When I'm in Portavogie, I always get my fish and chips here. And you can see here the machinery that's used to bring the nets in. And a lot of these boats will store their fish in what's called containers that are in fridges. Some of the larger boats are actually what's called factory boats, where they process the fish and so forth and so on board. But I'm not sure. Maybe people in the comments down below would be able to enlighten me what happens. But there's a restaurant over there. I can't just see the name of it, but I know George Best in his days used to frequent that place, so we'll take you over there now. So we can see here it's called Besties, B-E-S-T-I-E-S. So this was frequented by the late great George Best. So not only do we have George Best Belfast City Airport named after George Best, but we also have this restaurant in Portavogie. So here we have a picture of George Best in memory of George Best. So fans of George Best and fans of Manchester United will like this. In memory of George Best, who was born on the 22nd of May 1946 and sadly passed away on the 25th of November 2005. Irish Football Association, Northern Ireland. So that's a picture of George Best, and that's actually signed by George Best. So George Best actually signed that, so that's a nice tribute. Not quite sure, but I think George Best's son lives in California. But anyway, here's another trawler, and it's called the Jacqueline Ann, and it's very resplendent. There's that seal just popping his head up. Just see him. See his head just popping up there, right in the middle. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, you can just see him, just right at the end of my finger, just there. Yeah. So we'll just go on around the harbour another little bit. Here's another trawler here with its sonar and its lifting gear, all its winches. Very quiet here today, which is good. And then we have another trawler over there, and you can see it has a Union Jack on the side of it. Take it down or on up to it's FR261, and this trawler is called Penelope, P-E-N-E-L-O-P-E, and you can see Union Jack. Landed at the port, they're brought into this holding area. You can see there are large crates to the right hand side, and the fish are unloaded and then they're put into these crates, and then there would be bidders would come in and they would bid for the different fish that are brought in on any particular day. So it could be cod, it could be haddock, it could be shrimps, it could be basically just anything at all. So we'll move on round. There's the Irish Sea out in the distance there, so it's quite rough today. There's one of the islands. You can see there. I do my open water swimming way down the coast, way far down the coast. That's what it's like here today. It's a bit overcast. So this is the entrance to the harbour, or the entrance and exit. So, and you can see a couple of seals, I think they're seals, or maybe they're seagulls. Sure, you can probably see them better than I can. I'm nearly sure they're seals. Yeah, they're seals. You can see their heads bobbing up and down the water. Yeah, there they go. See its head bobbing up and down, just beside the seagull, just to the left of the seagull. And on really bad, when there's really bad weather, the water or the sea will come right over the top of that break wall, right into the harbour. But it's relatively calm today. And here's the Aspire. Again, this is another trawler, B.903, and that looks really resplendent, painted in what I would call British racing green. It actually has a jib at the back of it. So, that's the rear of the boat there. There's a seal just out in the water down there. So I think I'll wrap this video up now. So this is Colin Burnside saying goodbye. Don't forget to like, share with your family and friends, subscribe, and if you really like this video, consider hitting the bell so that you will be informed when I bring out my next video. So thanks very much for watching. Bye. This is Northern Ireland, UK.